Welcome to Daily Matters with Jack and Cabber. We talk about topics of interest such as relationship, self-confidence, politics, social wrath manifestations and protests, social unrests including robbery, rape, domestic violences and assassination, discovery, natural disasters and calamities, religion, and art, hip-hop, soccer, and all the miscellaneous and news around the globe are unfolded here.
Some truths and straightforwardness could shock some of our viewers. Daily Matters with Jack and KABR, a stage of truth.
Hi guys, my name is Jack too, and today I'm with
as usual, Cabra.
back again on the show Daily Matters as usual. We have a very interesting episode, and you can remark that today is going to be unusual.
Yeah, today is unusual. Today is extraordinary. So as you know, we treat today on the stage of truth,
Absolutely.
surely with our great and honorable guest, the great lawyer. Yeah, for sure, Mr. So that I'm gonna right away give him the floor to introduce himself before we can start anything. So, sir, for sure, if you don't mind, introducing yourself to the public because it's an honor. We know you, but they surely don't know you.
Thank you very much, dear friends, Mr. Calvin, Mr. Jack.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm very honored to be here
Okay.
this afternoon to discuss with you about something very relevant. But before we go deep in the topic, let me say my name is Roman Sudega. I'm a lawyer at Dibao, Burkina Faso, and in addition to that, I've also a big passion for English. So that's the reason why I'm trying to always be by your side to learn how to grow, how to perform my level. That's why I'm here this afternoon.
That's really interesting to hear, guys, right? So he is in law, right? He's a lawyer. And today we've been trying to reach out to him, calling him to join us for a hot topic, right? And we're so glad that today he made it out and we are here finally on the stage.
That's it. As you said, the great lawyer being accompanied today by this great man to nail this topic. It is a great joy to to have this great personality. I can say, if I may say, good
Absolutely.
personality with us today. That we're going to talk about a topic never talked ever, right?
Yeah, never talked about. That's a big misconception. Since he's a lawyer, so we have a law topic for you.
That's it.
Daily Matters.
All right, and this topic is
Yeah, so today's topic is just what the public is waiting for. So is I'm rich, I can escape the law. I know this question has been bothering many people, many poor people that have been being frustrated by the, some realities and sometimes misjudging, sometimes also judging in the right way because it depends, right, Mr. Jack?
that's it, and sometimes also misinterpreting. We have a lot of misconceptions around the term law, right? And today we're gonna break it down and know the unrevealed and the hidden truths.
That's it.
Right.
So we're gonna try to bring smiles on, on people's faces, because we noticing that many people have been thinking, the opposite of the reality. So we're gonna replace today the public. So everybody cannot be here. So I and Jack gonna replace the public by firing the questions to Mr. Subega, so that we can have the answers, the required and the real answers to our frustrations and boredoms, right?
Absolutely, guys. So, follow us, subscribe, and share. Down below, you can say whatever you think about the topic in the comments, right?
Absolutely.
So, let's start. Now, I have a very interesting question. Why should we even talk about law in the first place?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Jack. As we are saying, as human beings living in a society, we can't live without talking about law because we can say our daily life will be without conflict, without contentious between us. So from that moment, it is important that we manage ourselves to live according to the rules set by the authorities in our societies. And when we talk about authorities, what is the different rules, okay, ruling the different, the way that the citizens should behave themselves in the societies, okay. I'm a lawyer, as I was saying, and law is very important in the society, absolutely important, because law can say what is allowed, what someone can do, and what someone cannot do. So from that moment, if you force yourself to go against what is prohibited, that means you can be punished, okay? And also, when you talk about law in the society, that means all the citizens supposed to know their different rules. And something just come in my mind, as we used to say in our domain in Latin, saying that nemo constituere immorale. That means no one is supposed to ignore laws, to ignore his juries, to ignore his rights in societies. At any time, you won't be able to know what you must exactly do in the society. That means from that moment, you can have in face the law that will fight. Let me use this word.
Okay.
So law is very, very important. No matter you are coming from a law department, a student, or even another person coming from law department, this is even not what matters. Every citizen should know what is law, what is allowed, and what is prohibited, so that he will not be against the law.
Okay, but you touched a very important point. You talked about the law is set to punish whoever goes against the set rule, right?
Absolutely.
But our question is the law really is the law really fair? Is not sometimes partial? Is it everybody that can undergo the punishment of the law? Mr. Jack, right? This is what we work about.
It is
right?
important to ask the question to know if law is fair. The concept of fairness is something conventional as human beings. It is we can decide that this can be considered as something fair. Okay, so from that moment, if we say, for example, that you, Mr. Cabo or Jack, this is what you're supposed to do. So from that moment, once you have done it, you consider that you're doing fair things. But most of the time is what? When we talk about fairness is when we are in a situation of comparison between many people to see if what this is doing, what this person is doing, and what that other person is doing, according to the law, can we say that it is fair? Can we say that there is not a sort of discrimination between the different citizens? But as I said, it is conventional. We have decided, we have provided rules to rule these different situations in which we are living. So the concept of fairness is not something that just comes down from heaven. It is from us. It is from us. So
it's man-made.
It is a conception, and now it depends on what we put in. In the content of this word.
Jack,
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. And there is one big question which is really controversial in society. Is
Okay.
He touched a little bit the concept of we're living in a society full of a lot of different classes,
Absolutely.
poor,
Yeah.
and rich. So he wanted to touch the point of, can we talk about aren't we at a certain point in the society where there is a certain favor, depending on your social class?
The question is very important. Is a rich man to be placed at the same level of
As
power
poor.
in some given situations?
That's it.
When you say like that, it is just like we consider that in a society we have different classes.
Yeah.
We have poor, we have rich people.
That's it.
So that most of the time, according to what is happening in our different courtrooms and even in the daily life in the societies, we may find relevant to ask the question if really in this society we can say that all the citizens are equal before the law. This, let's say in theory, it is effective because it is written in a different law books, starting by our fundamental law called Constitutions of 1991. It is said at the Article 1 that all the citizens living in Burkina Faso, both national and foreigners, those coming from international countries, once there, supposed to be equal before the law. What did this sort of principle mean? It means that if, for example, two persons are in the same situation, same domain, same frame, normally supposed to be treated equally. No way to distinguish, to make discrimination between them. But it is important to note that between poor and rich, firstly, naturally, the poor is someone who, for example, cannot afford. Let's take the case of what's happening in the courtroom. You did something wrong, or you want to do something in the courtroom, then you need to have the money to afford the law, for example. So poor can find it difficult, while the rich people with so many money in the pocket can afford the lawyers they want to stand for them in the courtroom.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you touched a very important point. You talk about everybody is supposed to be equal before the law.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're admitting now that it is not everybody that is equal, before the law. Right? It is what you're admitting now.
Absolutely. This is what the law is saying.
So you systematically and obviously, declare that the law and the lawyers can be bribed.
No, it is not something systematic. It is just what's coming from what is written in our different laws. It is important to precise something. I said, in a theory, it is effective that all the citizens are equal before the
theory. But when it comes to practice,
there is one and there is another.
Yeah.
What is said in the theory and what is going on in the practice. Now, practically, it is now the means that can answer. And we will see that in the practical implementation of this equality in rights of citizens before the law, they cannot have some limitations, some problems to really justify that all the citizens are equal before the law.
But I have a big problem with two things that you're bringing up. You talked about equality in front of the law. Like every human being is seen as equal. Like no matter your social class, no matter your family,
your race, your
a poor person is considered as equal to a rich man.
Yes.
So why would they put a difference in terms of processing affairs? Like since I'm not as rich as he is, so processing maybe something that links us, I'm gonna have a problem. I think since we are all equal in front of the law should take full charge of all of the expenses during the process, and so we should really see and feel the equality. But I don't feel at a certain point you're talking about processing. Maybe the poor man is gonna have some complications, some problems, some trouble, and this may even play on the result.
And Mr. Jack, it's like the law obviously made everything not to give the percentage of possibility to escape or
this is how it is not exactly what
so
just
the question I
happened.
have.
What you said is what I think I got a question. Is that it is like before the court in case of trials, it is like the same favor having given to the poor at the same level to the rich. No, it's not exact.
Okay.
Look at, for example, two persons find in convictual situation. Go to the court. The first question the judge will ask to the defendant is to know if he is really ready to be judged. Firstly, to notify him all his rights, for example, to have a lawyer that can stand by his side to defend him. In a case where he will say that he could not afford a lawyer. Here also, there is a system in our legal system allowing every citizen in need of a lawyer to defend himself but cannot afford it to go before this service and simply make the request. And then according to that, the authority will commit for him, for his defense, a lawyer. That's what we call public defenders. Okay.
So there sure are some support, for everyone who can't afford the needs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
So,
Mr. Jack,
I have a
yeah.
question. Imagine if I am a rich man and I'm able to provide for, a really relevant and well-educated lawyer to defend me. Are we gonna necessarily have the same results? Because he is skillful. Because I consider that somebody who is working in a private lawyer, rich man coming to offer you some money.
You're gonna perform, you're gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring it up.
I don't think that they have the same skills
And it's the same motivation.
and the same efficiency. And since the other lawyers pay for doing that, do you think that doesn't really play on the result?
Maybe this can influence the final results. But what is important that at the start we have to remark that the both parties will have lawyer that will stand behind in their side to defend them. Now, what's important is what? Two parties before the courtroom. The one that should the plaintiff and the defendant.
Absolutely.
Okay? So it is like a football. At the end of the match, we will have a loser and a winner. It is exactly what's happening for the courtroom. Then no matter how skilled or qualified will be your lawyer, if in the facts of the trial you're not in a good position, then the judge cannot say in his judgment that you are right. So no matter how qualified will be your lawyer, at the end we will necessarily have one of the party that will lose. And also, automatically the party that will lose, we say that law haven't been said, or say that the judge haven't followed what he has said.
Yeah.
Why he thought that he was in the right. He was right,
Yeah.
something like that.
It was fair,
So
yeah.
this will always be like that. But it is not a reason to say that the citizens are not equal. Once
But Mr. Lawyer, I agree with you. You talked about the trial being like a match, football match. So it means that it's a random game. Normally, it should not be a random game. If you deserve, if you're like in the full right to yeah, if you're in the full right, you should be, you should have your right. But why would they be like a certain, sort of randomness in the game?
No, when I say it is like a football match, what did I mean exactly? It means that we have two parties.
Yes.
And that at the part of the match, at the part of the battle, we will have a loser and a winner.
A winner,
This
yeah.
is inevitable.
Yeah,
This is what will happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the one that didn't win,
Yeah.
for example,
Mhm.
didn't get a chance to have to express his equality as a citizen before the law.
But imagine that the person that lost is the one that should have won. He is in his full right, but since he doesn't have the means to have a good and a qualified lawyer, he lost the trial.
But
And
it depends.
and sadly, he's brought to the Mako, or maybe to jail.
You said full right, right?
Yeah.
You said full. It depends on the way to conceive it, because the parties before the judge have their own conception. The judge, the arbitrator, in face listening to all the parties, has also his way to interpret, to consider things, and to make his analysis. And according to our legal system, judges are the mouth of law. That means they will simply listen to all the parties and draw the consequences from the law and say that after having listened to you, according to what you have done, the article of this law has said to demonstrate that in this case, this one has committed a rape or something like that. You have to demonstrate that there was different constitutive elements. That means in the case where you will not be able to demonstrate the existence of these elements or even bring the different evidences to set the conviction of the judge, then for sure you will lose. You will lose.
So you mean the judge is like a girl. You should be, you should be convincible, even if you're not right, but you can convince, you can win the process.
Absolutely.
Mr. Subega, here is the stage of truth. So you should be fair with us. I mean, Mr. Jack, right?
What I'm
you should be
saying
fair with us because you mean that in the reality, rich people are not able to bribe the law and to escape and to get the poor into the bars and escape the law. This is what you mean. But the reality is far different. You can see that some rich people are able to escape the law by paying, I'm not, doing like being against,
I won't say
this is we're replacing the people here, and we should bring it up. We should ask you the real questions for you to know that the population, the 90% of people is not satisfied at all. Sometimes of the trials performed by the courts.
I would not say it is impossible. I would not say bribery is impossible because I still, as human beings, we are liberated in our different ways of acting or doing things or even thinking in the practical life. Okay, but this is not supposed to be the principle. The principle is that judge is independent, and as a public official, he should not accept bribes or to be bribed by parties in order to make his judgment only on this page. No, judge by definition is independent. Independent from the parties, independent from the executive, independent from the legislative. It is like that. The judges are supposed to work in our legal system. And if you take the organic law of 2019, it is said clearly that at the article first that judges are independent. The independence is the fundamental principle in the functioning of the office of the judge. But this doesn't mean that it is absolutely excluded. To see in some situations, sometimes some attempt to corrupt, to buy the conscience of the judge. This is even part of our daily life. But we should not take it as a principle. Let us try to convince the population, the laymen, that the justice is not about what you have that will allow you to have right, but it is about what you can prove. It is about evidences. You don't have evidence, then don't go before the court.
Wouldn't it be like selling a sort of illusion? Because you said let's not care. It's like when I listen to you, it's like let's not care about what's really happening at the justice court, but let's tell people
what you can bring on the table.
What we need to defend or to say that you're guilty is the proof that you have.
Yes.
I feel like it's like selling illusion. It's like as normal.
Yeah, it's like being a good lawyer can be a good lawyer can already help even the guilty to escape.
I think
because it's a question of argument, right?
When we talk about justice, when we talk about fairness, we should not sell illusion. Like the practice and what we're saying should go together.
Yeah.
Look at this is even the substance of the office of a lawyer. A lawyer is a defender. That means no matter how will be bad the case set before him, his office is to always defend, find arguments in the law, use the same article provided or even quoted by the other party, return it in a way to explain to the judge that according to this specific situation, regarding to the circumstances around the facts, it is yet possible to catch. It is possible to solve the problem. It is possible to let me say to find reasons and to even just remark that this one considered as a guilty. If we push far the reflection, maybe we could find some elements to testify that there is a part of innocence in what he has done. It is also what law is.
So you're like, okay, we should encourage them not to think like, okay, since he has money more than I have, then it's gonna win over me. So we should give them the courage to say that no, even if he has money, more money than I had, I still should focus on it.
Absolutely, because you can't even be a billionist and fail in the case of trial. Because if you have in face of you a judge that really respect the principle of independence, that means there is no way you could corrupt him. That means if regarding to the facts you are wrong, then it will be in this way the judgment will be made.
But Lawyer Chubeka, do you agree with me that there are many people today? There are many people today in prison that are innocent, right? Many innocent that have been jailed. So since human justice is not fair, don't you think that we should have left the idea of law and let the real law to the divine, the divine power? Because I think it doesn't fit, and there's no way of creating a justice if this justice cannot be fair. Most of the time, in most cases, you're going to bring some people that are innocent into the bars and let the real guilty outside. This is quite.
This is the philosophy of the parties, the losers in the trials. That will say, okay, I didn't win before the judge of human. Okay, we'll meet again before God, before the divine justice, before the divine law. This is the philosophy of the population. But what we must do as lawyers, as counselors, as advisors, is to train people, is to sensitize them that justice is here for everybody. Justice is fair. That means the both of parties will have the time to think about the cases, will have the time to perform their arguments, will have the time to have lawyers that will study the case and reflect and defend the case before the judge. This is the natural conception of our law. Fairness, it is a value that we are always tending to have, even if it is not granted. It is something always in the future, in the horizon, that we are always trying to do our best to perform the different ways of acting or behaving in the society to reach.
Absolutely. So I think it even is really important because that plays on the mind of everybody. Mm-hmm. If I'm in a society doing my things, I know that there's a certain justice, and if I do this thing wrong to somebody, I may pay for it. So it plays on the mind.
Absolutely, and that
it regulates.
Yeah, it becomes a sort of obstacles for them. That at any time they will have the problems, instead of to go before the authorities, they will just say, let's settle it between us and start fighting or even using means unlawfully. This also will cause problems again.
For me, what I think to really give fair justice, I think the law technology should seek for a way out, to create a machine. So whenever there is a like a case, okay, the two parties come and they put their hands on the machine, and the guilt is automatically and systematically taxed. This is the easiest and the most fair. Yeah. No, yeah, but because I think this is because sometimes imagine you're so talented, and the other lawyer is not that talented. But everybody cannot be at the same level. And you come with your arguments. Unfortunately, your client is guilty, but since you have the power of words to convince the judge is nobody in this. The judge is nothing in the sense of people. So he's just listening to. So the people to blame are the lawyers, right, Mr. Jack? Yes, because the lawyers are the ones that can even lie to give to the clients, even if they know that they're guilty. The judge is just there to take the last version. So it's not to be blamed. The judge is not to be blamed. But the people to be blamed are the lawyers, because they're sometimes participating to the unfairness, even though they know that the client is not right. But since they want money, there's money in the game, they will try all the possible to get a win.
But look at the judge listening to parties is not seated like a robot, like a machine that can't, have a capacity to reflect or to listen to his inner person. It's not like that. Judge is listening to other parties. He has also what we call his own conviction. If regarding to the case, for example, you are seeing something that you are not convinced about. You cannot think that you will convince the judge to follow you on this path. Even the case where both the parties have lawyers to defend them. And what Mr. Karu is saying, I'm not agree. He said we should have in our legal system sort of technologies,
automatic machine. Yeah.
From that moment, that means it is a sort of a way to cancel the role of the lawyers.
Yeah.
No, this is fair. This is more fair.
That causes more.
No. It's not what I mean, Mr. Zubair. It's not what I mean. I do want you to lead. I do want you to have, to have a way how to lead.
No, what you give us, what you give us.
So I also have a very interesting question. We think like the judge has the last word. That's the fact. The judge has the last word, and we think like his decision is, the top. We can't go against.
No,
but
no,
do you
no,
think
no,
like
no,
do you think
because it's not right.
Okay.
We have different levels of judgment according to our legal system. Someone think that someone's order has done something bad, for example, wrong to him, decided to go before the court. This party will have to go before the first judge, called judges of the first instance of tribunals, the first instance. So the first instance judgment will make the judgment. And the day of the deliberation, the judge will say to the party who was lost that he has, if it is in summary proceeding, for example, or criminal, we say, for example, that you have 15 days to call against this judgment before the Court of Appeal. So we have the judgment coming from the first instance tribunals. And then from there, this first judgment can be called before the Court of Appeal, the second level of court. So the role of these jurisdictions, coming from the Court of Appeal, will be to judge again, will be to examine the first judgment, and can even cancel it, void it, absolutely.
So what you mean here is that the result, the result of the trial is amendable.
Absolutely, the first
so this
judgment,
is already good news. If it's amendable, this is already good news.
The first judgment can be called before the Court of Appeals. And from the Court of Appeal, the decision that will come from the Court of Appeal can also be called before the Court of Cassation, the third level of judgment. So, first instance, Court of Appeal, and then Court of Cassation.
But our problem is what here. Our question is, okay, we think that since the judges are friends, okay, even if you take the case to the other level, I can call my friend and say, just stick to the same, to the same result. Just bring out the same result. Yeah, because imagine Mr. Jack is my friend, you're my friend, we know each other, and I want the result to be the same. I've been paid to just get the guy into the box, and I want to do all my possible to get the guy in it.
Look at, I won't stop. I won't be tired to always repeat that independence is it is a golden rule. It is a fundamental principle in the office of the judge. Or judge is supposed to be independent. Of course, in the framework of jurisdictions, all the judges may have a sort of links, relation, but it is not always in the sense of influencing the judgment made at the first instance, for example, by the judge, even if the one set in the court of appeal know him very well. It is not like that things. Most of the time, the first judgment, once they are finished to make the judgment, they don't even have any idea about what has been concerning the judgment he has made. So it is only the party, the unsatisfied party,
That goes to
that
the
will
next level.
take it from the next level. And what the first judgment will have to write with all the arguments, all the different evidence in the judgment, and after that, it is only what the party will have as need to take the judgment for the court of appeal, and then also to cancel it or to reform it, and there the party, the unsatisfied party, has another possibility to take it before the court of cassation.
All right, that's really interesting because I think not everybody knows that, and most people don't also do that because they think like that would cost a lot of money. We just talked about moving from one court to another court, in terms of level. But do you think like if I don't have the means, but I know that I'm innocent, but the judge said that I'm guilty, can I take it to that further level even if I don't have the means?
It is even the main reason why you will take judgment for the courtroom, because you suppose that you are not guilty, you're innocent.
Yeah.
So it is even the main reason why you will go against this decision for the courtroom. And I've said when we start that the party that could not afford lawyer will simply make the demand and request and submit it. And the state, there is a service called judicial assistance. It's a public service for all the citizens of Burkina Faso. You don't have money to afford a law, then go there, we will find a lawyer for you. Free. You will not.
Our problem is that when the lawyer is for free, it doesn't perform as it should be.
That means it's not you to pay him, it is the state that will pay this lawyer. It's not you.
Yeah, but we know. But when it's like that, we know the guy will not, just perform like when he's paid.
Why? No. Let's not be mistaken about something. Lawyer is doing firstly his defense, because he think that what is in the middle, what is giving the full sense of his profession is to defend, is to really do his job as he's supposed to do. This is the first the first impression, the first element that is coming in the mind of all honest lawyers, all honest, absolutely. Now, what will happen? Time is running. I'm going to cut to the floor. I have a very interesting question before I give the floor to Mr. Jack.
So, Mr. Lawyer, I will cut you the floor. So I will say that my question, there's something that really bothers me. It is true that we talked about unfairness on the law, but we also have to care about your lives. What are the risks lawyers are faced to? Imagine that you're a lawyer, you show your client that, no, give me 5 million or 1 billion, I'm going to make all the possible to make you win. And unfortunately, in the last result, the guy doesn't win. And they try to reach out to you, like try to pay some bandage to kill you, because You cannot assure me 7% I'm gonna win and I take my resources I give to you and you like find a way not to make me win. This is I'm gonna try somehow to try to reach out to you like to make your life a mess.
Yeah. What you say is right. As all human acts, there will be always, so many risks. Okay? And the lawyers in their daily profession are also facing so many risks. Okay, not only because they will have to face the case, because it is also important to know that lawyers, when he made the convention with the client, it is not for him to go to just take like a cake and bring it back to the client. It's not like that thing is supposed to. It is like a doctor, a medicine, right? Cannot say that he will be able to save a life, but he will say that he will use all the diligence, all the means he has at his possession to attempt to reach the result. It is also like that for the lawyer. Lawyer will do all the diligence, will do all the different acts, will do all the different appointments, take all the different appointments, judges with orders, experts, all what is necessary for him to do. To win the case, he will do that. But at final, if he failed to bring success to the client, it will not be a reason for him to be feared. Normally it's supposed to be like that. But most of the time also, it is not only about the traits coming from your own client, but also what is coming from the adversaries. Let me just take an example.
You win.
So many cases in which I've defended. Perhaps that the prosecutor have tried, to call me in his office to have the explanation because for him, what I was saying at the court was a sort of defamation. And to me to remind him that a lawyer cannot be pursued just like the same citizen, because a lawyer, for the safe practice of his office, has a principle that we call the immunity of speech. That means all the lawyer will have to say in the courtroom are covered, are protected by this immunity. You cannot say that a lawyer lied, that he has made defamation or something like that. So this is also what you are facing in our daily practice of our profession. It's not easy. Easy.
So there are a lot of things, protecting lawyers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we have what called immunity.
But what are the risks? What are the risks? Okay, of the lawyer trying to bribe the judge? Like he took a lot of money from the client, and he tried also to reach out to the judge and try to bribe him. What are the risks? Normally, if you try to bribe the judge would normally, sentence him like in
the
jail.
Judge will simply denounce him before the masters of the lawyers that you call batoni. The first lawyer, the one that is at the top level of all lawyers. So if such case happen, then the judge can denounce him before the general prosecutor, the one sitting at the court of appeal. And this will also call the boss of the lawyers to inform him. Because if you want to hear a lawyer, or even to check what is in his office, you cannot go and just start doing like that. You have to have the authority, to have the permission from the general prosecutor of court of appeal, and also from the lawyers. It is like that, but it is not automatic. So it is the consequence. The direct consequence will be to simply cancel it from the board of lawyers of Burkina Faso.
Oh,
absolutely.
This is so.
Absolutely. If you do that, then notice that maybe if you don't get a lot of land, he will no more be a lawyer in Burkina Faso.
Mr. Jack, this is sad. So
Yeah.
we coming to the
Yeah,
end.
that's a really sad story, but I think that's really also interesting. So thank you so much, guys, for watching us, and it was a hot topic debated,
Absolutely.
and now you have a lot of information about that topic, law.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he's a really a very passionate
Yeah.
guy about law and at the same time about English.
Absolutely, and it is like what I was saying to Mr. Carol last time, that three domains in which I have a lot of great passion is first philosophy, and then after that English and law at the third position.
And that makes you the man you are today.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was Daily Matters with Jack and Cabra. So today we have got an honor to receive our honorable guest, Mr. Subega.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So our distinguished thanks to the courts of Ouagadougou and also all those lawyers. So we want to urge them to be fair, sometimes because people are feeling frustrated, right, Mr. Jack?
But I think like the misconceptions are going to be over because with him we discovered all the hidden truth.
That's it.
About that.
I hope that what I have said could, allow
Could
people
appease,
to have-
could appease
yeah,
meditations.
Calm down the heart.
That's
Right,
it.
It's love. What is love?
Thank you
The role
so
is playing in our
much.
society.
Thank you so much to all of you. You know what I'm saying? So, audience, see you next time for another topic.
Yeah. See you.
Stay tuned.
See you.